देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगन ललिता श्री विखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्वसे नमः हरे
Hare
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय
Hare Krishna. If you look at the picture that I have on the screen, it has three sections. The top one is showing worship of demigods. The middle one is indicating picture worship of Pitri or king or you know other great personalities. And the bottom one shows worship of ghost and other you know things like that. Like there's a ghost and pisage type of thing. So one on the top is worship in goodness. The middle one is in the passion. Bottom one is in ignorance. Divisions of faiths. There are different. There are divisions of faiths, and faith can fall under these three categories. Just wanted to, in case if you are wondering what is on the front slide, I just wanted to. I selected that picture because that tells the story. So this chapter, just quick summary, and then one of you will have to read the verses so that we can quickly finish. There is not much, so we'll just hear what are the symptoms of the food, sacrifice, and charity or austerity in these three different modes. But this chapter is coming right after 16th chapter, where Krishna talked about divine and demoniac quality. He gave the symptoms of divine people. He gave the symptoms of demoniac people, and this chapter is talking about those people who are not quite divine and also not quite demoniac, in the middle. And if they are in the middle, then either they are in ignorance, or they are in passion, or they are in the goodness. So first few verses Krishna talks about how one's Shraddha is developed. Shraddha is coming based upon their association, and based upon their Shraddha, they have their worship, their food, their sacrifice, their austerity, their charity. All of them are in three different modes. And based upon which mode they are in, they choose the food or sacrifice or austerity or charity in that mode. So that's how we'll talk until verse number 22. And then last five verses talks about but what is the best way to do this? Food we are eating, right? When we offer it to Krishna, it becomes prasadam, right? So eating food and offering it to Krishna, just by offering it to Krishna, it becomes benediction. Right? So Krishna will talk about that. That anything that is done as an offering, to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's what basically that Om Tat Sat is going to teach us. That if anything is done for the pleasure of absolute truth, then it becomes bona fide. But if it's not done for that purpose, then Krishna says it's asat, it's temporary. So if something is being done in goodness, as you know, results of goodness is not eternal, or passion is not eternal, right? So like that, it's going to be asat. So that's what is basically lesson, or that's the message coming out of this chapter. So anybody has anything before we proceed to the chapter?
Prabhuji, last class we had towards the end we had asked this question about what drives us to make any decision, and you pointed out that there is on one hand our swabhav, and then is our shraddha, because last chapter was based on our shraddha, right? The three types of shraddha which we have. Hmm. So, so the three modes of worship we talked about: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he, yeah. So in this chapter also the three modes have been again elaborated.
Right.
Um,
So it's basically, in this chapter, there are examples given that,
okay. Mhm.
hey, person who are in the goodness, their food will be like that.
Mhm.
Ignorance, their food will be like that. In
Mhm.
goodness, their food, in passion, their food is like that. Person who is doing charity, in goodness, their charity will look like that. Because these, so not completely fallen, not completely divine. So that what does it mean? Means somebody in the bottom layer or somebody at the higher layer, right?
So can we say, Prabhuji, that the swabhav is our food habits, our different, so to speak. In the previous slide, you showed us our swabhav is the
In
food
one of these
habits,
guna,
yeah,
in one
the
of these
sacrifice.
guna,
Okay, the sacrifices we do, the austerity we do,
right?
all this is our swabhav.
Yeah, in one
Uh,
of these guna, right?
yeah, and they fall under these gunas based on our whatever that is being facilitated by the Supreme Lord because of our desires, right?
So based upon your swabhav, your charity, your food, your penance will have either ignorance or passion or in goodness, right?
Hmm.
So that's the swabhav. But our value system is that it should be always prasadam. Food should be always prasadam.
Prasadam. Yeah.
Charity should be always done to the devotee of Krishna, like that, right? So that's
Right.
our
Right.
value system. But we not all the time, but we not do that all the time. So we are not.
Hmm.
So we have the value system, but we are somewhere, working under our swabhava. So in goodness, you'll have swabhava of the goodness. In the passion, you'll have swabhava of passion, right? In the ignorance, you'll have swabhava
Yeah.
of ignorance.
Mm.
So that's what basically, so there is a struggle between swabhava and shraddha. Shraddha is where we want to be at, but swabhava is where we are at today. And we have to go from our
Mhm.
swabhava to shraddha,
And the swabhav is
complete
determined by
faith.
our actual actions, right?
And swabhava is determined by the way we act, right?
Right.
The way
Okay.
we make decisions.
Right. Right. Okay. Sometimes we act on the basis of our value system. Sometimes we act under the sway of modes. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, or something.
Yeah, it's like, it's called kind of, war of dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Shraddha and value system. Yeah.
right? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes, one will, sometimes another will win.
Mhm. Thank you,
So
Prabhuji.
we are kind of trying to adjust. And association plays a very important role. How we'll act, like in the temple, we'll act like a pure devotee. But as soon as we are done out of temple, We'll start acting like ordinary people. What is your question, Sartha Mataji? I didn't follow. You were saying that please show the previous slide. Hare Krishna
I'm
Prabhuji, can you please show us the previous
I'm
slide
asking to
one?
show the previous slide once. That Swabhav slide.
Oh, I'll have to find that.
Oh, oh, okay.
It's
I
in
thought
my.
Prabhuji mentioned it, so I thought you showed
No,
already. So
I
that's
no, I didn't show it up, but I think it's in my. That's the message, Mataji. I'll have to go back and find it. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
where it is,
yeah. That's when
but you have
Prabhuji.
seen it many times, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have seen like Swabhav and values, whatever we are talking on.
Subhav and Sarada, right?
Oh, Shraddha. Yeah, Shraddha is where you wanted to go, but Swabhav is in the current stage. Okay.
Right, right. Subhav is where we are. We all are very much where our Subhav is. Which is,
So,
which is, yeah,
yeah, so to go to that level, right, to Shraddha, so we need to follow all these association, reading books and all to, in that way,
right.
our
So
Swabhav will.
Sardha is basically, Sardha here does not necessarily mean the faith. Doesn't necessarily mean the faith. But Sardha here means our value system. Our value system. What exactly is the gold standard, right? How exactly we should be, where exactly we should be. That's our gold standard. And where we are right now, that's our Swabhav.
So
We have.
always we will inspire with whatever we have. That's where association is important.
That's why association is very very important, because your association, when we are in the mode, when we are affected by mode, the surrounding will affect us, right, Mataji?
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So when we are in the mode, when we are saying that condition, what is the meaning of condition? We get conditioned based on the environment, right? That's the conditioning, right? Like something, if put
We
into
are
the
always
heat, it becomes hot. If you put
yeah.
into the refrigerator, it becomes cold. That's conditioning, right?
Hmm.
So when living beings are conditioned, they are also, they are influenced by the surrounding. That's why
Yeah.
Krishna says that, become dhira, become sober. What does it mean? We're not affected by surrounding. So conditioned living beings, if they associate in the mode of, if they are associating with the people who are in the mode of tamoguni, then they will start acting like tamoguni, or at least they will have some, impact of it. Rajaguni will have Rajaguni impact. Sataguni will get that impact. Prabhupada, when he came, take the example of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, when he came, he had, you know, so many things going on around him, right? He came from India and he saw Western people, and some of them were drunk, some of them were, doing illicit sex in front of, everybody. Some of the women's were coming and asking Prabhupada's advice and everything. Prabhupada has no effect on all of this thing. Their presence around does not impact Prabhupada's consciousness. Rather, Prabhupada, being pure devotee, push everything up, push them up. But many ordinary people, that surrounding, they'll say, okay, I'm done with Krishna consciousness. Now let's get married with one of these women and I can have nice life here. I'm just giving the example. I can get American this and that and I settle in America. Isn't it like that, Mataji? So ordinary people will decide like that. Mataji, tell yes or no if you
Always,
said,
always possible, Prabhuji. We are always in that condition to
yeah,
go it or no. That
yes,
always in the dilemma.
yeah.
But as you mentioned, right, Prabhupada is that soul, so he may not deviate
He
for
is
it.
pure devotee, exactly. So he was, he had all of that divine quality. As Krishna is talking in previous chapter.
But as
Steadiness, samdarsita.
yeah, for example, as I am here, so definitely it is always in that where to go, and we'll always ask others or always sees others what they are doing and try to follow. So that's where
Right,
we have to be in a good association so that no, just will follow them.
right, exactly, exactly. Association matters a lot in a conditioned state. Okay, so from here, can somebody start reading? If you don't want to read the verse, just read the translation. No, that's on the second column. I'm also good with that. But let's keep on reading. Say, like you read like this: foods in the mode of passion, foods that are excessively bitter, sour, salty, hot. If you want to read the Sanskrit, that's fine. But I would like one of you to do it. So start from mode of goodness. Krishna is first he talked about the faith, and then he said that food, sacrifice, austerity, and charity, all of them have modes. So now we are going to take them one by one. So first is food. So let's start from verse number 8. Keep on reading.
I will read.
Yes, Mataji.
आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्यो सुखप्रीतिविवर्धानि दानः रश्यास्निग्धाः स्थिरहृदया आहार सात्विकप्रियाः. One's lifespan, purity, strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction will increase by such foods. They are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to heart. Such are the foods dear to people in goodness.
Okay, so there are, you can read all. Please go ahead and read. So, what are the food that the people in mode of goodness will prefer? Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Continue reading, Mataji.
Okay.
Keep on reading.
Okay. कत्वमल लवनाति उष्ण तीक्ष्ण रूक्ष विदाहिनः आहार राजस राजसस्येस्ता दुःख शोकामय pradaha. Foods that are excessively bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. They cause distress, lamentation, and disease. Foods in mode of ignorance. Yata yamam gata rasam, puti paryushitam chayat, uchistam api chamedyam, bhojanam tamasa priyam. Foods which are in stale, tasteless, bad smelling, decomposed, and consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Vaishnavas do not eat food offered to Supreme Lord, even if food in goodness.
Yeah. So one should not think that the food, if food is in the goodness, that itself is sufficient. So the commentary is being made here, note is being made here that for Vaishnava who are follower of or worshipper of Lord Vishnu, for them, their food is transcendental. The food are not in the one of this mode. We don't eat the food in the ignorance or passion or in goodness. Rather, the food that we eat, it's transcendental because it's offered to Vishnu. Then we are switching to sacrifice. Yes, Mataji.
Sacrifices in goodness. Apala kankshibir yajno vididishto इज्यते यस्तव्यम एवेति मनः समादाय स सात्विकः. Performed according to the scripture as a matter of duty without desire for material results.
Yeah, so sacrifice in goodness is performed according to scripture as a matter of duty. We saw that, right, in Sakam Karma section. Varnashram dharma is followed as a matter of duty. It's in the mode of goodness without desire for the material results.
Sacrifices in passion. Abhishandaya tu phalam dambartam api chaivayat ijyate bharata shrestha tam ejnam vidhi rajasam. Performed for some material benefits in this world or elevation to heaven for the sake of pride.
So it's clear. Sacrifice in the passion is for elevation to the higher planetary system. And then for sake of pride, I can do this, I can do big yagya. Okay, Mataji, continue.
Sacrifices in ignorance. Vidhihinam ashritanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. Performed without regard for the direction of scripture, without distribution of prasadam, scriptural food, without chanting of Vedic hymns, without remuneration to priest, without faith.
That is ignorance. I think I don't see that happening a lot, but it says it does happen, and there are some people who does it, they follow process that's not mentioned in any shastra. Without distribution of prasadam, many times and we see that we get prasadam, right? Satan Bhagavan Katha. There'll be prasadam for everywhere or anywhere you go. There is a prasadam. So that is being referred here without chanting any Vedic hymn. I'm just talking about the prasadam. I'm not talking about Satan Bhagavan Katha. I'm just saying that you will see the activity where there is no prasadam, and that happens. I have seen it. So these are some of the sacrifices in ignorance. Ignorance. Now we are switching to austerity. So Krishna is just giving some examples. Okay.
Austerity of body. Devadvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Saucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Worship of the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, gurus, and superiors like the parents, and cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. All this constitute the austerity of the body.
So this is very important, verse. What are the austerity of the body? How we are being austere with our body? It says, Deve Dvija Guru Praja Puja Nam Socham Arjavam. Worship of Deva, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dvija, Brahmana, Guru, and Pragya, the one who has knowledge, superiors, like parents, and then Puja Nam, their worship, Shocham, staying cleanliness, Brahmacharyam, celibacy, Ahimsa, non-violence. These are the austerity of the body. So we be austere by body through these activities. So when somebody comes, in our temple, we try to engage them in devotional service, ask them to do something for Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even though their mind is not there, they don't know what they are doing. But if they are acting for Krishna, then they are becoming austere with their body, which will earn them some agyat swikriti. Austerity of a speech, yes, Mataji.
So Prabhuji, Deva refers to Supreme Lord, Prabhuji?
Deva, Dvij Guru Praja, yes.
So generally Deva means demigods.
Deva also means demigod, right? Deva also means Bhagwan too. Deva also sometimes means Lord Shiva, Deva Mahadeva,
Yeah.
that. So whatever meaning Acharya gave us, that's the meaning, we take. Right.
Okay. Austerity of speech. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayad swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva van mayam tapa uchyate. Speaking words that do not agitate others, that are truthful, pleasing, and beneficial, and regular recitation of Vedic literature, all this constitute the austerity of speech.
So today we had some discussion in the temple, and devotees were saying that we just have to have the love for God. And question that I raised, how we can have love for God? It's very difficult, right? We want to have, that's our sardha. We want to have that, but we have svabhava, we are not there, right? So how we get there? We get there by doing this austerity, being austere with our body and being austere with our speech. So here it says anudvega ramvakyam, not saying anything that will agitate others. Satyam priyam hitam chayat, truthful. Whatever we say, it should be truthful, it should be pleasing, and it should be beneficial for others. If we are saying something, even if it's truthful and pleasing, but if it's not beneficial, then that's not good. But if we are saying something beneficial for somebody, we should try to say in a very pleasing way. That would be even much better, because we are saying beneficial thing and we are saying in pleasing manner. And then see here, this last line, it says swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva, the regular recitation of Vedic literature. That's the austerity of the speech. Regularly, Hare Krishna, reading Om Tat Sat, that we are saying, reading in the pastimes of the personality of Godhead. That's how the speech become austere. Says here. And then we'll hear about What are the austerity of the
Yeah.
mind?
Austerity of mind. Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava shamshuddhir iti etat tapo manasham uchyate. Satisfaction, simplicity, no duplicity, gravity, silence, self-control, and purity of heart are the austerities of the mind. Devotee must follow these three austerities, such as austerities of Kaya, Manasa, and Vacha. These three austerities can be practiced in three modes.
So devotee must follow these three austerity, such as austerity of Kaya, body, Kaya, Manasa, and
Vacha.
Vajsa. That's how we purify. Our body has to purify. Our speech has to be purified, and then our mind has to be purified. So these three purifications are needed for us to purify. Anything anybody would like to say before we move to the other set of verses, or should we just keep on reading? Let's keep on reading. Mataji will talk later. Okay.
Okay.
Austerity perform.
Austerity in goodness is performed. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapas tat trividam narahi apala kankshibir yuktahi satvikam parichakshate. With transcendental faith, not expecting material benefits, only for the sake of the Supreme Lord.
That's austerity in goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
Austerity in passion is performed. Satkara mana pujartam tapo dambena chaivayat kriyate tadiga proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. Out of pride, for respect, honor, and worship from others, it is neither stable nor permanent. Austerity in passion is ignorance. Muda grahinatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapah parashyotsa danartam va tat tamasam udaratam. Out of foolishness with self-torture to destroy or injure others. Charity.
So austerity in ignorance, out of foolishness, with self-torture. Self-torture we are seeing. And we see
Prabhuji, austerity in goodness, how is it different from devotional service?
it's very close. Very close.
For the sake of Supreme Lord.
It's very it's very close, bro. In fact, it's have you heard that statement? If you want to come to Shuddha Sattva, you have to come to Sattva stage first. So devotee does, although here is the thing, the action that we are doing, and please ask me or let me know if it's not clear. The action that we are doing is purely transcendental, but our doing might not be transcendental. Like for example, sometimes, you know, I might chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra just to show off. See my point, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Right? Or I might give a very technical classes to show that people, look at me, I know the scripture, right? So the action that we are doing, that is transcendental, but the expression is not. Expression is somewhere in the lower mode. Did you follow me, Prabhuji? So
Yeah, but doesn't it says for the sake of the Supreme Sattvikam Yukta Tapas? I mean, it says not expecting material benefits.
yeah, it's high. That's what I'm saying. It's very high.
Mhm.
So what is your doubt there? So you are saying that this sounds
Means
like pure
I'm trying
bhakti.
to, yeah, I'm trying to compare Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So maybe no material benefits, but it has subtle benefits like Gyan.
Okay. No, so here is the thing. I can say things. Why don't we read the purport of Srila Prabhupada? Can we read that?
There's no purport.
Okay, there is no purport. We can pull out some different purport. I'll pull out the purport of Vishnachakarthi Thakur. Okay. Let me see. If I don't see purport, then I'll
Purport, let's
talk.
see.
1 minute, Prabhuji. I'm trying to get there. Chapter 17,
Verse 17.
verse 17. Huh?
Yes.
Ah,
We can read. Yeah.
what is it? Bhakti.
So let me
So,
stop sharing this one.
so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Prabhuji?
Now we are going to read Balda Vidyabhus.
Okay.
Mataji, can you read here when these
Yes.
3 types?
Yeah. When these 3 types of austerity are undertaken with full faith, without longing for results, and with concentrated mind, they are said to be sattvic. The austerities, according to the 3 modes, are now described in 3 verses. Austerity of 3 types: body, words, and mind, performed taptam by men without desire for the result, with concentrated consciousness yuktahi. With full faith is said to be in the mode of goodness.
Yes. So all these are in mode of goodness. But Prabhu is saying that to him, it sounds like it's pure bhakti.
But
Right, Prabhu? Right,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
yeah.
Yeah.
From
And
the translation, it appeared. Yeah.
right. And my answer is that yes, it's in mode of goodness. It's not in the passion. It's in the mode of goodness. So when we are doing devotional service completely in the mode of goodness, the angas are uh, followed, but it's followed with these qualities. So with transcendental faith, do you think that uh, there is form? Do you think that there is need for one to work on faith, Prabhu? Let's work that way.
Hmm.
No, please tell me yes or no.
Work on faith. Yes, definitely. Our faith must be will be very loose in the weak in the beginning, and it has to be strengthened.
Yes. So when that faith is you know very firm, but not completely garha, still it can shake, but it has become very firm. Okay, but there is still chance that you can lose that faith. But when that faith had become stronger, then uh, it is in the mode of goodness. Do you think that we have expectations also when we do bhakti? You might not have, but there are expectations of name, fame,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
unless and until you
Mm.
get into the uh, pure state, right?
Yeah.
So when one has that higher stage, that the expectation is very little or almost none. Okay, so that person has come to that stage. It's just the relative, kind of elevation. Hey, when you have come to that stage where your faith is very very firm now, when you are in a stage where you are not expecting the results of how it's going to benefit you, and when it is being done only for sake of Lord, this is very high. Only for sake of Lord uh, means there is no other you know motivation, but that motivation is not completely form. There is chance that you can go down also. But when all of these things becomes completely concentrated, Navilasita Sunyam Gyan Karmadya Navritam Anukulya Krishna Nusilna Bhakti Uttam, completely form, pranahite, the word is being used pranahite. When it's become completely fixed, then it becomes Shuddha Sattva. So here, this is very close. This is very close. But even in mode of passion and ignorance, one can follow some limb of bhakti. But there it's very fragile. But at goodness stage, it's almost there. It's, it's like, the easiest way I can explain is that, bhava and prema, bhava is a budding stage and prema is a completely developed stage, like budding flower to completely, blossom flower, right? So that's what it is. Goodness is like in the budding state, it's almost there. So, that's how we have to see.
Okay, Prabhuji.
An
Yeah.
example is the easiest example would be budding flower versus fully blossom flower. It's like it's fragrant, all the, you know petals have fully grown up. Now it's in the flower shape,
Mhm.
but it's very high, Prabhu. Yes, it's very,
Right.
it's very Shuddha Sattva and Sattva Bhakti. Sattva Bhakti. I don't think that my devotional service it has come to this state. I don't know about others, but I can tell you for, I do get sometimes, anger, upset, and I start thinking about what other people are thinking about me and this and that. We all go through that, right?
Mhm.
But this is a state where we are not like that. But that stage could be, you know, a dilute state. We can go down, we can go up. But when we go up, then it's Suddha Sattva, purely firm, fixed bhakti.
Mhm. Yeah, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has translated, if I can read. He has not taken that part. Supreme Lord part he has not mentioned. He has said um, when these three types of austerity are taken with full faith, without that is 16. Okay, that well,
No, you are right. That's 17 verse. What you are reading is
thus
17.
17.
Yes.
When these three types of austerity are taken with full faith, without longing for results, they are said to be sattvic.
Yeah. Right. So for,
So it doesn't mention about for whom, but Prabhupada is mentioning for Supreme Lord. It's specifically mentioning for the sake of the Supreme.
right.
Um,
So you have
it
to
just
go with,
says,
we have to go
yeah,
with uh, the translation, that Prabhupada is
yeah,
presenting.
yeah, definitely, yeah. So yeah, so
Yeah. No, we
definitely, so yeah.
please continue.
No, what I'm thinking is in the previous verse, we had mentioned about serving of devas, parents also, right? In mode of goodness, right? So if we are serving the parents in the mode of goodness
This is
without
this is referring
expectation,
to this is referring to austerity only,
yeah, this is
where
referring
one
to
is being austere with kaya, vacha, and mansa. So
austerity.
just being austere with kaya, vacha, and mansa, right? These three things, and the goodness is very high, Prabhu, very higher stage. When one's body, one mind, and one vani, all three have come to the stage of goodness. Wow, it's very high stage.
Uh, threefold austerity. Okay. So when it says Prabhu threefold austerity, what
Uh-huh.
what is the threefold? What is that? I mean, is it the in the three modes?
Where you are reading this threefold.
In verse 17, it says this threefold austerity
Uh-huh.
performed with
This
transcendental faith.
No, this threefold austerity is saying that austerity of mansa, vatsa, and kaya.
Okay,
Where you are
okay.
reading that? I need to look at that.
That's in the Veda base.
Yeah, purport of
If you
whom?
go, no, no, Prabhupada's purport in Veda base.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That
So I'm
is
looking at
three.
Prabhupada.
That is
So
three Vidam Prabhuji is mentioning the threefold that vacha mind. What you said, that is the threefold. That is in the sloka itself. We see three Vidam Narahi.
right,
Yeah.
right. So where is that? So threefold is coming into the purport of 1717 by Srila Prabhupada, or you are going
No,
to
17, there is no purport, Prabhuji. Only the translation, it says this threefold austerity. And in the verse itself, it says Trividham, the three kinds of austerity. three
Yeah,
kinds of
that three
austerity.
kinds. That three kinds
Oh,
of
body, speech,
austerities.
and
Yeah, mind.
body, speech, and mind. Okay. So it's referring to the austerity performed in in the mode of
S-
goodness.
So that means
Um,
both three, kaya, vatsa, and mansa, are in the mode of goodness.
hmm.
So that
So,
means
but
one
so
austerity,
then,
once. Yeah, you go ahead.
sorry. So the
No, no, this is
austerity
good.
in the mode of um, which is mentioned for the body, that in verse 17 it says austerity of the body consists of worship of the supreme lord, the brahmanas, the spiritual masters, the superiors like father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. So it refers to uh, all of those.
No,
So
so no, Prabhu. This is austerity. So to understand that verse very clearly, you have to start from uh, where Krishna starts talking about kaya, austerity of the body, austerity of the uh, mind, right? So those three austerity that Krishna is talking, you have to take those three verses. So if you go back to verse number 14, he talks about austerity of the body. 15, he talks about a speech. And 16, he talks about mind, right?
yeah.
And right after that, he says, Tiribidham, Shraddhaya Prayataptam, Tap Sri Tiribidham Naraye. So this Tiribidhi, you have to only keep yourself limited to this Tiribidhi. Don't go, don't try to pull charity or austerity or food here.
No, I understand that, Prabhuji.
Okay,
But
okay.
what I'm trying to say is the three vidhi is mentioned. The first vidhi of the austerity of the body is mentioned in 14, right?
Yeah.
In that, it refers to worship of superiors,
Deva, Deva, Deva.
deva. Yeah. So,
Worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we said Deva there
supreme
means
lord, brahmanas, spiritual master, and superiors like father and mother. So,
pragyas. Yeah. So like parents and the pragya here normally refers to prakrist gyaniti pragya. So
worship
pragya
of
refers to the persons also who are like guru, who are like knower of the shastra, sadhus also.
worshipable
So
personalities.
yeah. So pragya means the personalities who are in knowledge also. So parents could be in knowledge. That doesn't mean that we have to understand the word pragya, the one who is knower of the wisdom, the absolute truth. That what
Mhm.
it means.
So can we
So
restate 17 saying that this threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material results but engaged for the sake of pragyas?
for the sake of pragya, why we have to go back to pragya?
Because if we say supreme, then it becomes devotional service.
It is devotional service. Prabhupada is saying that austerity of mind, speech, right, and body in the mode of goodness is very high, Prabhu. That's what have been saying. It's very high. One
Mm,
cannot be austere with body, with a speech, with the mind, without having a spiritual bhukti mukti yogi sakale ashant. Krishna bhakt niskama ataiva shant. Unless and until the niskam concept is not there, unless and until the motivation has completely gone out, unless and until one has not become desireless, it's very hard to be austere with body. Bending down all the time is not possible unless and until one is getting the spiritual wisdom. You know, being very soft spoken, kind, these things is not very easily achieved unless and until one has devotional quality. Sarvaguna samahite. So this austerity of body, mind, and kaya at the stage of goodness is very, very high. So here is how you understand. Uh, if we are following Prabhupada's commentary, then we have to stick with Prabhupada's commentary. If you try to understand Prabhupada's commentary from the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, then there might be some confusion. So we read Prabhupada's commentary, then we go through his line of thought process. If you go to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then we go through his line of thought process. If you go to Baladev Vidyabhushan, we go through his line of thought process. But ultimately, they all will come to this point that Ishvara Brahma Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Adi Adi Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. So that's as it is, right? We remember in the beginning we had discussion about as it is. So here Prabhupada is translating that if these three austerities in the mode of goodness are a devotional service, we are talking about here devotees. Prabhupada is taking the highest mileage. So Prabhupada, even he talks about sakam, karma, or any other part of the gunabhuta bhakti, he emphasized bhakti, 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 bhakti. Okay, so emphasis here is for devotee. The devotee, when he is in the stage of Shuddh bhakti, he will have this quality. His faith will be formed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will have no material desire. He will be free from the desire, and and everything that he will do for Supreme Lord. But that is in the dilute stage, not fully formed, not completely consolidated.
Yeah. Prabhu, I feel
Yeah.
that
So
that
what is your yeah? Please go ahead and explain
no,
your
I'm trying
understanding.
to
Yeah.
distinguish austerity in the mode of goodness with devotional service. I'm feeling like, say, Bali Maharaj. He Atma Vinay. He gave up everything. Then when he gave up everything, his wife came up and said that, uh, "Oh Lord, everything belongs to you, but yet my husband thinks he's giving up things." So the sense of sacrifice is itself wrong in the sense that it is not yours on the first place. What can you sacrifice when nothing is yours? Uh, in that sense, devotionals, we the sacrifice will come under goodness. Uh,
Okay.
uh, but
So
uh, yeah,
no, go ahead. Continue, Prabhu. Continue. Thank you.
so,
Continue, please.
so I feel that the more as long as we are thinking that we are sacrificing,
Mhm.
we are not. We are we have a concept of me and mine, and as long as we have a concept of me and mine, then we are not in pure devotional standpoint.
So this is not talking about pure devotional service.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, because it is, I'm trying to defend now. I'm saying that, okay,
It's
because,
talking about the devotional service that is done in the mode of goodness.
yeah, it's talking about sacrifice done in mode of goodness, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So as
yeah.
long
So
as it is a
austerity. No, it's
sacrifice,
not.
yeah,
It's talking about austerity. So getting up in the morning. Are we not austere? We're getting up in the morning, taking shower, and we start chanting name of Krishna. It's austerity, right? We are being very
right.
austere, getting up in the morning. And so Prabhupada says that austerity in the mode of goodness when one is basically for a devotee. So he's trying to
Mm.
explain that in context of devotee, that how does it look like. And Prabhu, one thing that I wanted to pull out and show you, bhakti is everywhere, Prabhu. Without bhakti, there is no result. So don't think that, Prabhuji, that I'm trying to pull out that slide, and I'm trying, let me pull that out. Hope I can make the point clear. So, we should not drop the bhakti out. And let me pull out the slide that I wanted to show you. Yeah, here. Prabhuji, let me show you this slide. So the confusion is coming because you are not trying to take this as a bhakti, okay? But are you seeing this slide, Prabhuji, now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's see this one. There is uh, Karma Khanda. This is ladder, right?
Yeah.
From Karma Kanda, we go to Sakam Karma Yoga, we go to Niskam Karma Yoga, and then we go to uh, Gyan Yoga, and Niskam Karma Yoga to then Gyan Sannyas and Bhakti Yoga and all of that, right? So there is result at every step, right?
Yeah.
Like Sakam Karma Yogi, they go to heavenly planet, okay?
Mhm.
And then this Gyan Yogi or Ashtang Yogi, they they merge into Paramatma,
Mhm.
right? Right? And
Mhm.
pure Bhakta, they go to back to home, back to Krishna, right?
Mhm.
Our Acharya says that the result that Niskam Karma Yogi or Sakam Karma Yogi is getting, that's also because of some of the bhakti that they have done.
Mhm.
Okay. The result that Ashtang Yogi or Gyan Yogi gets merging into Brahman, that also because of bhakti that they do. So, when we're talking about Gyan Yoga or Ashtang Yoga, we cannot say that there is no bhakti. They go to secluded place, they close their eyes, so Om, 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 they are meditating on the Brahman. No, so there is bhakti, Prabhu. They will fast. Fast for what? They are fasting for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is bhakti, right?
Mhm.
So bhakti is everywhere, but that bhakti does not have ultimate goal, ultimate result until it comes to a stage of Shuddha Sattva. Okay, but bhakti is there in the goodness also, bhakti is there in the passion also. Dhruv Maharaj, he left his kingdom and he went and did bhakti. Throughout the way he was doing bhakti, what was his objective, Prabhuji?
To gain a planet greater than his great
Was he
grandfather.
not doing the bhakti?
Yeah, he was doing bhakti
So, but his
with a
bhakti
different
became
purpose.
Shuddha Sattva.
Hmm.
Yeah, but his bhakti became purely unalloyed when Vishnu came and touched with his counsel, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Huh? But
Yes,
there
yes,
was
yeah.
bhakti. So there is
Hmm.
bhakti at each stage. The result that one gets is outcome of the bhakti. Only bhakti delivers the result. Bhakti is the only shat. Everything is ashat.
Shakti.
So
Bhakti is Shakti.
yeah, so bhakti is there. There are people who are doing yagya. They'll just do the yagya, Om Vishnu, but they don't know who the Vishnu is and everything else. But sometimes, they will do it for sake of name, fame, right? So their endeavor is not pure, but they are doing bhakti. So that bhakti will give Suchinam Srimate Gehe. Krishna, in chapter uh, 6 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking, what will happen if somebody just starts the bhakti and leaves? What will happen if somebody matures in the bhakti and then leave? What happens? Shalpapi, dharmasya trayato mato bhayat. So please don't think that bhakti is completely, you know, coming in the Shuddha Sattva only. Bhakti also evolves. In every stage there is bhakti. So please don't think that the slide that we are seeing, there is no bhakti there. The austerity of mind, austerity of body, austerity of speech in the mode of goodness is a very advanced stage of bhakti.
Hmm.
But it's not completely anavilasita shunyam. That has to come. It's not pure, pure, pure. It's not completely pure. Like, am I not doing bhakti?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
But am I pure devotee? No, I still have contamination. I'm not. So that's what. But I might be. I'm sure not in the ignorance. I'm sure little bit higher than passion. I know that part, but maybe not higher than goodness. Maybe somewhere between passion and goodness. Most of us are in that. By the way, we are not in ignorance. Passion is a little bit still inside us, and mostly goodness. When goodness becomes completely prominent, one has to come to the mode of goodness. It's on my notebook. I have written that if I want to be, you know, Shuddha Bhakta, I have to stay in the mode of goodness for a long time. No anger, no envy, no jealousy. Verse numbers, 15, 16 that Krishna is saying here.
So,
So
what you
that
are
has to
saying, in
happen.
other words, Prabhuji, that
Yeah.
Anyabhlasha, the bhakti starts when we are already liberated, right?
Huh?
Bhakti
So,
real bhakti starts when we are already liberated. Yeah.
so what is that liberation?
Um, Liberation from material modes.
Yes. So bhakti, unless the Shuddha bhakti does not start unless and until one come to this stage. Brahm Bhut Prasanatma na sochati na kanchati sama sarvesu bhutesu mad bhakti lavate Brahm. So unless and until one does not come to this pure stage, the sochati na kanchati, the pure unalloyed devotion doesn't happen.
Advent. Yeah.
But bhakti is there, Prabhu. We all have bhakti, otherwise why you would be here? But do we have a completely consolidated pure bhakti? No, our bhakti might be, in a mode of passion, might be in mode of, goodness, somewhere there. And there might be some Shuddha Sattva bhakti too, like sometimes crying, sometimes, hair is standing. Those symptoms are there, but then doesn't last longer.
Mhm.
Santa Mataji, you
Right.
have something that you wanted to share? Or just the accidental hand raising? Okay, sounds like accidental. So are we good, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhuji, I wanted to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Prabhuji, we are saying yes, in every stage we have bhakti. Actually, here the bhakti definition is connecting to God in whatever the mode. See, love of God, maybe just I'm trying to define bhakti. It just okay. As long as I'm trying to remember God, that is my bhakti.
Please continue. Please continue. That's what you were asking, that as long as I'm remembering Krishna.
Yeah, in whatever
Yeah,
the
as
mode.
long as you remember Krishna, that's bhakti. Yes. But how long you remember Krishna? How long do you remember Krishna?
How long
All
do
the
I
time? Yeah. Do you remember Krishna all the time?
Then it becomes pure devotee.
Okay, then. Yeah. So you are answering your question by yourself. Yes.
No. Just I'm saying, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah, it's
to.
bhakti. It's bhakti. Answer is yes, it's
I'm
bhakti.
trying to define here.
Yes,
Like
it's
we are
bhakti.
saying, these are all in different modes, and every
You know,
in every
so the
stage we
bhakti,
have
the
bhakti.
bhakti, the bhakti is always, beyond guna. Please don't tell me that, so don't, you know, but our bhakti may be mixed.
How can we
Okay.
say it is beyond guna, Prabhuji? Say,
Because
for example, no.
yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, suppose the bhakti is okay, maybe faith in God.
So you have
If
a
we are
Mataji,
defining faith in God, yeah.
you take a piece of, gold, okay, or diamond, right?
Mm-hmm.
That diamond you can put in water or not.
Yeah.
So you can set that diamond in water, right? The
Uh-huh.
same diamond you can put into rice also, right?
So still I'm saying rice in water. So okay, I understand, because you are
So
saying gold.
diamond is diamond, but now it's with water. Diamond is diamond, but with rice. Diamond
So
is
that
but we
rice
want.
water, I'm saying guna. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. Bhakti, okay, bhakti is a diamond, and whatever we are saying rice or water,
Our
that is my guna.
contamination, Mataji, our
Means,
contamination.
yeah, our contamination means I'm doing that bhakti with this guna,
Yes.
with that mode or with that guna. So that's where
So
okay.
no. So as long as this very good point, Mataji, and please, make sure that you understand what I'm saying. When you are engaged in devotional service, like chanting the name of Krishna, when we chant, right? The holy name of Krishna is pure. But when we are chanting, we might not be chanting purely. But
Understood.
name is pure. No, if you understand this, then there is doubt.
Yeah,
Name is pure.
understood.
The name of Krishna is pure. But when I'm chanting, maybe I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about my wife. My mind is thinking about my job. My mind is thinking, oh, I don't have gas in my car, right? But the name is so we are doing bhakti. We are doing bhakti, but that bhakti is not with full potency. That bhakti has, some mixture to it. That's what it is.
Yeah, that mix is with my guna, right? With my
Yeah,
guna.
yeah. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. You're right.
Yeah.
Whatever, we all are carrying bhakti, but then that bhakti has some part of our personality too. Manohar Prabhu has his own style of doing, Veena Mataji has his own style of doing. But when we all become purified completely, then this style thing will go, this conditioning thing will go, and all we are doing is bhakti. Statam asmartaya Vishnu, Vishmartaya na Jatashut. That stage has to come when now it's only devotional service. So yeah, that's how you have to see. But you don't think that when we are putting that diamond in water, then diamond has become water. No, there is still diamond, but it's with water.
Prabhuji, that is the every concept, right? Suppose we are saying soul is pure, but as soul is in this in this body, and that body is acting in that particular mode, that's where we are saying we are in that mode.
Right.
But always soul or bhakti, whatever that is pure or Sachidananda, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, you're right. Soul is Sachidanand, and like bhakti is also Sachidanand. But it is being, it's performed by a person who is a particular mode. You see, like that. So that's why, uh, intensity is not there. Prabhupada gave many times example that light a fire in a wet wood, it would not, catch. But if it's dry wood, it will catch. It will start giving the flame. So we are igniting a wet wood. Fire is there, but but we are igniting. Is it okay? Let's see what
Yeah,
Yes.
Prabhuji, I wanted to give this example for austerity, just to my understanding. Say, for example, say I'm doing fasting, right, Prabhuji? Initially, maybe I'm able to do pure fasting, but later on, my body is not helping me out. But I'm trying to do, still I'm trying to do to get some, to get, to show on others.
Yeah.
Then that is going as a austerity in passion.
You will see that. We haven't completed it. That's exactly is coming there.
Right. So
Satkara mana.
yeah.
Puja artham. See, satkar se. Satkar means what? Satkar means for, satkar means, when you welcome somebody at your house, satkar mana puja artham. When you are doing something for pride, for respect, for honor, to be worshipped. That's it. So right after that, so why don't we finish that? Then it will be clear. Mataji, finish the passion and ignorance. That will give more clarity.
Yes, Prabhuji. So the same, okay, I do fasting, but I'm adjusting according to the body, and I'm doing my bhakti, then it may goes to in goodness, right?
Yeah, but if you are doing it, adjusting it, and you are,
See, austerity
not doing it
means
for,
I am doing fasting. I'm doing fasting so that I can do more bhakti, and I wanted to be more with my God. Say,
wow,
if
that's
I
very
don't
nice.
eat anything, I'm not able to do those things. Then what is point? So I'll do
Yes.
whatever required, and I'm doing. So that is, I'm doing whatever required, and doing that purpose is goodness. Can I say?
Yeah, that's why Prabhupada taught, to his disciple, hey, you cannot fast because you have not, don't have the background. But more than fasting, it's important is that you remember Krishna. So chant and dance, do book distribution, and keep energy for chanting and dancing Krishna. Remembering Krishna is better than fasting and forgetting him.
Yeah, because fasting, why I'm doing fasting is the main goal. So if my body is not helping out, adjustment and doing goodness, just for showing up others, still doing the same thing is passion, and ignorance, or like still one more level. Maybe
Self
it
torture,
doesn't.
yeah. So you'll see that. You'll see that. So let's finish this. Mataji, start from 18.
सत्कार मान पूजार्थं तपो दम्भेन चैव यत् Kriyate tadiga proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. Out of pride, for respect, honor, and worship from others. It is neither stable nor permanent.
Yeah.
Uh,
So austerity that is performed in the passion, you see, for the pride, for the respect, for the honor. You all should, consider that I am great because I'm doing it. And what happens in passion? See here.
Austerity in passion is ignorance. Muda grahenatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parashyotsa sadhanartham va tat tamasam udaratam. Out of foolishness with self-torture to destroy or injure others.
Isn't it like that? You will see that people go into, you know, uh, crematory place, and then they cut their hand and put the blood on the fire, right? They will be sitting in front of fire, and I don't know what they meditate on. I know, right? Tamoguni, right? Tamoguni. They kill, goats and other creature, and they say that this is.
So there's an example, Prabhuji, in Ram, Sri Ram pastime. One person came to Lord Ram and said that my son has died. So please explain this. You are responsible for this. So Lord Ram uh, went throughout the length and breadth of his kingdom and found one person doing austerity, tying himself with his leg upside down. So he,
Ah,
so he immediately, if I correct, he chopped off his head because that kind of austerity uh, is disturbing to the kingdom.
yeah. That's why they say that Lord Shiva, Kali, they say that who is when Kali has the Mundamala, right? They
Mhm.
say who are those Mundas? They are all the worshipper of Mother Kali. Mother Kali killed them because they said, hey, you should be worshipping Vishnu. Why you are worshipping me? But you have worshipped me. Let me annihilate you from this life. Next life, you worship Vishnu. So, so you can see here that there are austerity that is performed in.
But that is interesting, Prabhuji. Just of course, in Vedas, everything is given. Why this much that Kshudras? Why those are all came in, Prabhuji?
Yeah, there's all, if you understand the intent, then you will love it, you will respect it. But if you do not understand the intent, then we don't have respect. Society has this varna and ashram for their gradual elevation, but now what we have in the society on the name of this Varna is basically, it's Varna Shankara, or it's Bibramit, it's very misilluded concept because there is no original Brahman and there is no, you know, really original Kshatriya or original Shudra. So this is little bit, misutilization of this concept. So I'm not talking about in the present context. I'm not supporting the context that we have in the society today. But this Varna and Ashram is coming from the concept of guna, Maya Srishta Chaturvarnam. This Chaturvarna is, Krishna says, my creation, gun karma vibhagsa, and the distinction that is on the guna and karma. So the purpose is that as a Sakam Karma Yogi, you just saw the ladder. As a Sakam Karma Yogi, you elevate to Niskam Karma Yogi. From Niskam Karma Yoga, we come to Gyan Yoga. From Gyan Yoga, you come to Astanga Yoga, like that. So Shudra should promote to Vaisya, should promote to Kshatriya, and should promote to uh,
Brahmana.
Brahmina. And this is not the no the caste that we are born in. Krishna says it's based on quality. So quality, when it comes to quality, then any time any quality can be developed in any person. Like many of us might be born in the Brahmin family, and we are now becoming devotee. Okay, Vaishnav. Somebody who is born in Vaisya family becoming devotee, they are also, Vaishnav. Somebody who is born into Kshatriya family, they are also Vaishnav. And somebody in the Sudra family is also Vaishnav. So anybody who has taken the devotional service of the Lord Vishnu, they are Vaishnav. Doesn't matter where they are born. Krishna is not saying that, if you are born into Shudra, you will remain Shudra. But the eluded concept or misleading concept the society has is that Shudra always remains Shudra and Vaishya always is Vaishya. But that's not what the Vedic teachings are. Vedic teachings say that no, as long as you are engaged in the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are Vaishnav. Doesn't matter where you are born. So there is some misconception in the society, and if we try to solve that, that might be a little, difficult for this discussion here. But I just wanted to present you the fact
Yeah,
that
no. So my question, sorry, Kshudra means my question towards more the Vedas, whatever is given, the Kshudra Puja, whatever Kali Puja. That's more my question.
no, the Kali Puja, and if those worship, because people have their faith based on their association, and if the activity that they are engaged, if that is done in a bona fide way, then they will elevate. Tragunya Visaya Veda, Nestragunya Bhava Arjuna. There is process given for everybody, okay? Shastra or Krishna has not created this material world only for Brahmana to go back to home, back to Krishna, okay? This system, this material world is created for everybody to go back to home, back to Krishna, right? Right or wrong?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Everybody has to. So there should be process, right? So the process is given, okay, if you cannot do this, and we basically, studied that in 12 chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to conclude with this statement. Krishna in 12th chapter, title, the devotional service. First he says, first what he's saying, do you remember what he's asking us to do? Do you remember? Anybody remembers?
Shraddhaya Prayatitas.
So what is the first what is the first criteria Krishna is setting in front of us? What he's asking us to do? Anybody remember?
In 12th chapter, Prabhuji?
Yeah, verse number 8
To
to 12.
Man Manab.
Fix your mind and
Yes,
exclusively.
yes. So Krishna basically in 12th chapter, first he says that first he asks that become asmaranatmika bhakta. Means satataya smartaya Vishnu, vismartaya na jat sut. Always remember me. Are you seeing the slide, Prabhu's Mataji's?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So first he asks is that use your mind and intelligence and completely fix yourself in my remembrance. And what remembrance means? His name, holy name, his form, his
Qualities.
quality, and his pastimes, right? Nam, Roop, Gun, Lila.
Leela.
So always, Asmanatmika, always be like that. But then Arjuna asks, but how we can be like that? It's very difficult to be like that. It's the pinnacle, right? It's the highest stage. Then Krishna says, okay, if you cannot be like that, then be Mananatmika Bhakti, where you use your mind and intelligence on me. Okay. But with that, you are internally always engaged in me. Then Arjuna also says, mind and intelligence is too much to do. It sometimes, it will go here, sometimes it will go there, sometimes it will think about my family, sometimes it will think about Pandav dynasty. Then Krishna says, Abhyas yogena yuktai. Abhyas karo. Try to practice. So how practice? My mind and intelligence will go on something, bring it out. It will go something, bring it out. It will go something, bring it out, right? So says that the gold standard is that you always remember me, never forget me, and you are fully fixed in me. If you cannot do it, then come to the stage of Anatmika Bhakti, where you are meditating on my name, form, roop, quality, and pastime with your mind and intelligence. But there is some, time when you are not completely fixed in it. Then abhyas karo, practice for it. Okay. But then Arjun says, my dear Lord, this is even difficult. There is so much distraction. How can I do that? Then he says, Kaya Rupena Bhakti. If you cannot do abhyas, then use your senses, your nose, karmindriya and gyanendriya. use those senses. This is external now. So from Kaya Rupa, he's saying that external. Use those in my service. So smell flower, that's offered to Krishna. Eat food, that's offered to Krishna. Go to temples and if see my deities. Externally we engage. Okay, but engage your senses. They say that it's very difficult. Senses will try to enjoy and go other places. Then he says Kaya Rupa Bhakti. He says then, okay, just work for me. Go to temple, mop the floor, wash the pot, help the deity, uh, priest, the priest who is head priest in your temple, some type physical activity you do. And if you cannot do that also, then at least do niskam karma. So in niskam karma, what is one activity? One is engage in varnashram dharma, Kshatriya or Shudra or Vaishya, whatever your varna is, stay in your varna and follow the varnashram system. For Brahmin, he says that patan patan yajan yajan. So do that, and then from varnashram you'll come to Kaya Rupa Bhakti, then you will come to Kaya Rupa Bhakti, then it will come to Avyas Rupa Bhakti, then it will come to Manatmika Bhakti, then you'll go to Asmaranatmika Bhakti. Okay, so that's the another order which is we are going to study in depth in Nectar of Devotion. We'll call it Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Asakti, Ruchi, all of that we'll see there. But this is the order given. Gradually, you come. Okay, so Krishna starts at Varnashram Dharma. It says all the way down he comes to Varnashram Dharma, and it says that you can start there, and then from there slowly. So this graph that I have, the presentation that I have here is coming from up to down, because in that context I had to talk this. But you can reverse that arrow, and then you can go from bottom to up also. So don't take it in a wrong connotation. The purpose of Varnashram is to go up. Okay, is good enough?
Prabhuji, there is one question in the chat.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. What is that? How can we completely trust Krishna and stop worrying about life? We know the theory that Krishna is behind everything, and yet we stress, worry. Abhyas karo, Mataji. Now we have to practice. That's 100% true. That we are not where we are supposed to be, but also we have to. That is again, a very advanced stage, right? Once we are advanced in our consciousness, then we'll have not this problem. But the stage where we are in right now, this is very common problem. This is very common that we start stressing, worrying, and thinking what will happen. I don't know. I am in deep problem. But what is the remedy? Remedy is given that go to temple, associate with devotee, talk to them, express your heart, tell them that hey, I'm going through this and this type of situation. They will pacify you, they'll give you guidance, they will little bit help you boost your devotional aspect. So those are the things. But as long as there is gap between our value system and swabhav, the bigger the gaps are, the more worrying and concern and issues we'll have. Okay, so performing bhakti severely will bridge that gap. So the practical answer you are asking, the practical answer that I can give is that look towards devotee, make devotee friends, associate with them, eat prasadam, come to temple. So by associating around them, they are always talking about Krishna, doing Krishna, acting in a way that is more Krishna conscious way of acting. So you will see, you'll see some good example. Oh, what is my gum? What is my pain? Somebody else, has even 3 times more pain than me. That person is still, happily doing. So these are the practical way. Association does is that it gives you a very, very immediate example. Somebody, in your neighborhood, somebody who is very close to you is going even more, going through more suffering than you are. and he is still performing devotional service. So that will give you understanding that yes, there is something higher. I don't know, is there something else somebody can say? Manohar Prabhu or anybody else has anything that they would like to share for
Yeah.
Jyoti Mataji?
No, today I was listening to Prabhupadaji's lecture, Prabhuji, and he
Yeah,
defined in the lecture, I sent the link. He towards the end he defines Shudra as one who laments. So a person who is always lamenting, we cannot purely equate lamenting to worrying, but it's kind of similar. That is we lament over small things, whereas we should be, I mean, lamenting about higher things, you know.
yeah,
So that's a interesting definition I never heard earlier. So that was faith. Faith has can be developed only when we associate with people with faith. So that's
yes. Agree, Prabhu. Totally agree. Totally agree. Thank you. Very nice discussion, huh?
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. It was very nice, enlightening. Thank you very much.
Anybody has anything else before we adjourn? Or we are good?
Thank you so much for all the insight, everyone. The Prabhujis, all Prabhujis. Yeah.
Yeah, how can we completely trust Krishna? So trust Krishna will also come uh, through sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anartha nivritti. Do the other thing. Associating with sadhu, engaging in devotional service, and then trying to not do the offense that's obvious. So sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anartha nivritti, if these things are done, then the fourth stage is nistha. That's what we were talking about. How we can have complete trust. That's nistha. So nistha comes in a very technical term now. We will say that this answer is very technical, but that's how our acharya says. Nistha will only come when you have a sadhu sangha. We are always associating with sadhu. We are engaged in bhajan kriya, in devotional service. And anartha has been, vanquished. Not anartha. Then faith, complete nistha comes. And we should at least try to come to a stage of nistha in this lifetime, which is firm faith. So what you are asking, completely trust, is basically higher stage. So unless and until we get to that stage and the order is given that first one has to have the shraddha, then one engage in sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, and minimize their unwanted desire, unwanted activity, then nishtha will come. Unless and until one has to do the other things, which is sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, and artha nivritti. That we'll
Uh,
study in Nectar of Devotion.
Thank you, Haribol Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the beautiful words. Yeah. Yeah.
Vanshkalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyayavasya patitanam
Patitam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
vaishnavibhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Mataji will start again at 11 o'clock next week at the same time.
Yes.
Thank you. Vimala Mataji is helping us organize send the message, keep us posted with the class timing and everything else. So thank you so much for your service, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Dandavat pranams everyone.